Let's go live. I think we're live. We're live. Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh shoot, this is just an adventure. So somehow, some way, folks, things you can almost always guarantee, folks, that things will not go like you want them to. Let's go ahead and share my screen first. Why not? Oh my goodness, we'll share the entire screen. I'm in the middle of actually, not in the middle. I'm at the end of wrapping up a video project here. So this is a video that I was doing here this morning for one of my YouTube channels, specifically my Vanderpool channel, me Vanderpool X, we're calling it, because that's a fun thing to do here. Now, why this will not, this DJI device, this microphone here, these are phenomenal. Chris Eischen, Little Tech Loft, has got some awesome equipment that kind of we're using here out and about. And unfortunately, my setup isn't going to allow me to do everything that I want to do here with the audio. So right now, you're not even picking up this mic. You're picking up the computer microphone. I hope it's okay. We'll maybe fix it in post. We'll see what happens here. This video will be a long form video. It's going to be kind of wandering all over the place. I will hopefully be able to chop it up and improve the audio, make it a little bit more better. But what I have over here now is a video that I was just working on.
Vaccinating mirrors, slip.
And I guess this might be a little bit of a introduction into what we're doing today. But this is, if I go back over to my Facebook, my LinkedIn, whatever the frick I'm doing here, I got all kinds of things going on. Woefully underprepared for all of this. Let's go to my LinkedIn here. You know me, Mike Vanderpool. I do a whole bunch of fun stuff. And this is the Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design. This is my company. And we are doing the Create a Podcast System that works. So we'll get into that in a little bit. We'll give some folks some time to come in. But for right now, let's go ahead and, what is that? Why is there a typo in there? Oh my goodness. No one ever told me. No one told me. There we go. We'll fix that. So I just did this video here, and I'm actually going to show the end process here for those of you that are interested. There we go. There we go. We got some cutting in and out. We've got some text stuff. That's cool. I can dig that. It's a 6-minute long video. I actually created the script by talking into ChatGPT. It gave out the script. I used my phone camera, and there's an awesome teleprompter app that I'm using here. I think I had to pay for it. It wasn't too bad, but it does a good job. If I can look at the camera and it scrolls the words, I recorded it. I did a little bit of editing here, as you can see, some cutting in and out and things like that. I went in and improved the audio with this Adobe tool here, this enhanced speech from Adobe. Adobe's got some pretty cool products. And now I'm going to go ahead and export this. I'll upload it, and we'll use this as like kind of getting into this whole idea of podcasting, media, and everything else. And why this relates, because I do all of my podcasts as videos, and we'll see what those look like here shortly. The goal for today is to have a system that I can use in 2026 for taking my Make It Happen podcast to the next level. But let's go ahead and get this exporting first. File, export media. We'll go here, new year, new you, and we will actually prefix this with Vanderpool 2026, because that's the channel that it's going to go to. Naming conventions, it's how we kind of do things. In this folder here for Vanderpool 2026, I will create a new folder for my exports. All caps for no other reason than that's the way that I do it. And we're going to export this as H.264. That's a video codec. There's me. Just kind of check on what I got going on. A little bit in and out, a little bit of title work. Sweet. We'll export that. Okay. So while this is exporting, let's go ahead and take a look at the Make It Happen podcast. Let's start by looking at maybe we should look at Canva here. Canva and my projects. Holy smokes, this is even messy too. Do I have a podcast for a project for the Make It Happen podcast? Let me bring this over here. Hopefully I don't cause myself too many problems by doing this. We do not have a folder / project for the Make It Happen podcast. So let's go ahead and we will create that. Not a design here. Within our projects, let's go and create a new folder, and we will call this the Make It Happen podcast. We've got some graphics here that we probably are living over in the Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design folder. If we take a look, yeah, here we go. here's the thumbnail for today. I made a Lego figure of myself using AI. That was pretty fun. And then I went ahead and also have a whole bunch of a mess here from the Make It Happen podcast. Let's take a look at this, and we'll talk about the story. Right, my very first guest was where did that go? I need to be able to see if there's any chatting. There we go. My very first guest on the Make It Happen podcast was Valerie Thompson. Valerie is super awesome. I intentionally chose her for my first guest because I met her at the Holiday Mixer, the tech and design folks, the American Advertising Federation folks, and along with some of the tech folks, Keith Instone and others, we got together and met up. And I met Valerie for the first time in December. My entire everything when it comes to this idea of cool people doing cool things revolves around design and tech folks interacting. The Holiday Mixer was a great example of that. I'm pretty well connected in the tech community. I intentionally chose Val because she, for me, was one of the people at the pinnacle or the top, was well connected in the design community, which I was going to then kind of infiltrate, connect with even further than I already have from my position as a graphic design faculty and some of the other stuff that I do in the space. That was awesome. Val, why do I have, now you're going to get see a little bit of my madness here and why we got to clean this thing up, right? Why do I have freaking 4 thumbnails from Valerie? Oh my goodness. What we should do here, before we get too far down the rabbit hole, let's go over to our friend Spotify, and we'll pop back to that. This is what it's going to be like, folks. If you're watching out there watching me, this is going to be all over the place and fairly interesting. We should probably come in here and look and see where are we going to go here. Let's go to the channel. Let's go to my other channel. Man, I got like 10 YouTube channels. Not that one. Oh, there we were. We were live. Let's go. And here I am. Not that one. I can hear me. Sweet. So there I am, rocking and rolling. Hi, me. How are you? Comment, like, subscribe. Okay. So the Make It Happen podcast here. If you want to check this thing out, I can go ahead and then share here, copy link to the podcast. We'll share some of the other links as well. Check out the podcast on Spotify. Boom, shalak, lock, boom. How do you spell Spotify? There we go. Awesome. So if you're out there, sweet. And if I hit show, there you go. Nobody's going to click that. Well, I like that graphic there. That's pretty nice, though. You can hide that. Okay. So what are we going to actually talk about right now? Just the origin of the podcast and where we are today. Because if you're trying to get somewhere, right, a destination on a map, you have to know where you are in order to get to where you want to go. So we're going to take a look at this, right? Make It Happen podcast. I've got 2 ratings. Thank you, everybody out there who's rated this. We've got quite a few podcasts. But let's go back to the thumbnail mess here. I've got this original thumbnail, which was really busy, all kinds of crazy stuff going on, hard to read, too much stuff going on. I simplified this one when I talked to Caleb and some of the folks, Audie and others, regarding the Rocket Hacks event that was at the University of Toledo. This was a challenge because it's multiple microphones, multiple people. That's always a little bit more fun. Another with Valerie. My second or third guest was Adam Cassie. That was a great conversation. Has led to some pretty cool things. Then we have our logo. Then we've got our end screen. Then we've got a lower third with just the name of the podcast on it, Make It Happen. And the origin of Make It Happen, I've told this story before. The origin of Make It Happen comes from, can we go in here? Can I actually make that go away? Not that one, that one. There we go. The origin of Make It Happen comes from me as an instructor and faculty. I would meet with my students. We'd go over the project. We would talk through any of their questions. I would give them feedback, all of those things. And then I would end the lecture portion or the kind of conversation portion with Make It Happen. So boom, shalak, lock, boom. So Make It Happen. That is the podcast. Make It Happen podcast is cool people doing cool things. And I think I should have that here, right? Telling the story of cool people doing cool things. Sweet, sweet, sweet. That's our end screen. That's what we're going to keep. You know what I should probably do? I should probably prune out a lot of this stuff here. Holy smokes. What else? How did we get all the way down to the bottom already? Yeah, lots of garbage in here that we can just get rid of, right? There's the lower third with the transparent. A lot of these things I'll use in my videos as well. So I talked to the Saunders, I talked to Dalian, I talked to Andrew Clausen, Gary Thompson, Chris Hamady. Holy smokes, folks. I think there was like over 30 people that I've done podcasts with. Manav Misra, an old work partner, Lewis Lane, Vince Croce. Vince Croce was, I think, my third guest. Vince and I talked for 3 hours. Holy smokes. Justin Beaudry, talked to him a couple times. Summer Crenshaw as part of the Great Lakes AI Week. Nancy Disbrow talking about all kinds of cool stuff. Alicia Wagner, cool stuff. Autumn Raymond, Bobby Cullen about his film that he made. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. My co-host or partner in crime, one of my partners in crime, Bree Yarnell, talked to the Teclito folks who did the music festival here last year. I talked to Kyle Storer. You see, I shot this one in the wrong resolution, or I couldn't zoom in like I wanted to, so I had to do some stuff with the background there. Tom Bush, who I've interviewed twice. Patrick Marchman, we talked about climate issues. Brent Kuzno, we talked about his life as an entrepreneur in Toledo. James Warnkin, he did an event here, a conversation here in Toledo talking about accessibility. Denise Grupp-Verbin, rhymes with bourbon. She's phenomenal over at Owens Community College. Again, Adam Cassie, Matt Kibler, we talked about tech cred. Paul Sation, Peace, Love, Happiness, his concert that he did. And there's me, and there's me, and there's probably too much more of me and some other thumbnails. Holy smokes, folks. That was 2025. And 2025 was definitely the FAFO of this Make It Happen podcast. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler here. Let's actually go look at our video first. I've done exporting. Okay. So now let's go over to YouTube again. I have a Heart of the Lions fan channel. I've also got a whole bunch of other channels. If you want to pause and take a look at them, that's cool. Deal with a lot of different industries. And this is the Vanderpool podcast, Vanderpool YouTube channel. So this is me personally, not any of my company stuff for other things. I've got a decent amount of stuff in here. I started this, I think I made some decent videos. I had one about Jerry Springer. The thumbnail is why that got 205 views, but none of these have really done very well. Change your life 1 minute a day, define your future. These were some things I tested and played with AI, trying to make stuff happen. And then this video right here, going on 50. So I'm going to be 50 here in March, and holy smokes, folks, we've got to fix some stuff here. This video, I patterned it after some of the other thumbnails and things that are out there. Thumbnail had a 2.2 impression rate, but 186 impressions. That's not very good at all. I just did this new video. Let's upload this and let's see if we can make something happen. I can't do the YouTube thing I want to do because I'm under contract or under requirement not to talk about that. But here's the video that we just exported in our exports folder. Naming conventions, organization, super, super, super important for all of this. We'll talk about some of that.
If your New Year's resolution is to get back to the gym in January, I'm going to tell you something.
There we go. There we go. We'll upload this. And now I'll hop over to my good friend, ChatGPT. Unable to load the site. Oh, no. What happens if how many people are in trouble if ChatGPT goes down? We might be in trouble here if ChatGPT goes down, because then we'll have to use something different, and that's fine. We're fully operational, not aware of anything impacting our system. Maybe they just don't like me. Here we go. When in doubt, folks, with technology, wait 30 seconds, 5 minutes, and try again. All right. So the script that we just did was here. The gym resolution, we'll go back to this and we'll say, give me some headlines to test on YouTube. And I have the video script in there. So this should give us some decent stuff. Let's see. Should we have New Year's resolution in here? Let's see. Let's actually go over to YouTube right now. And this will all make sense. This will all be part of this whole process of figuring things out here. Let's go. Ooh, built the ultimate villager training hall. Oh, we want to watch that one later. Holy smokes. Save to watch later. That looks pretty cool. Why did that grab my eye, right? Why did that grab my eye? It's got one capital letter or one capitalized word. It's got a very striking picture. Does my thumbnail stand out amongst all these other ones? I mean, I think so. You can tell I like Boney M and Daddy Cool. You can tell I like the Lions. You can tell I like Minecraft, right? But here we go. Let's go. New Year's resolutions. Let's see how many views these things get. 3.6 thousand. Maybe this isn't why New Year's resolutions fail and how to succeed. It's got 5 years ago, so nothing in here. New Year gym. Let's see if we can get New Year gym something or other. Best strategy to dominate your New Year's fitness goals. All right, performance standards. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, these may or may not get. Should I take a picture of me with my shirt off for this? Maybe, I don't know. New Year's resolutions, hitting the gym. How to win at the gym. How to win at the gym this new year. That might be a good title. How to, right? There's my LinkedIn. If you know who I am on LinkedIn, that's cool. How to win at the gym. How to win at the gym. New Year's resolution. Maximize success. Maybe, I don't know. Let's go. We'll go back over to ChatGPT and see what else they have. Why going to the gym is January is setting up to fail. That might be a good one. Let's go. And let's add in another one here. Stop going to the gym in January. Here we go. It's a trap. Smarter plan instead. So you want to plant the seed. Like, what is this smarter or the plan, right? So with thumbnail titles, with all of these things, you want to plant a question in the viewer's brain. Like, the brain wants to have these questions answered. So you can plant a question by doing a how to win, why going to the gym, yeah, let's go. Success in the new year. Why going to the gym? And then this one down here, the third one, January gym resolutions are a trap. Here's the smarter plan. The question then, even though we're not asking why, the question is the plan. Well, what is the smarter plan? So let's go. We can set that test there. And then if we look here, this is something I've never done before, but you have like up to 50,000 characters, I think. Yeah, or 5,000 characters. Give me a 5,000 word YouTube description for this. And you know what? I'm gonna actually stop this. I'm gonna go back over here. The script that I'm using in ChatGPT was the one that I generated from basically talking to my phone. So you can see here, this was my prompt. Look how long that prompt is. Megan Riker, I want to throw this out to you as well. You mentioned this using your voice to create your prompts, gives you longer, more robust prompts. That's what I did here. And then it gave me the script. Now, the script does not have timestamps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my video editing software. I suppose I need to share my screen to actually do this effectively, don't I? Because I've been not sharing my screen this whole time. Let's go over here. There we go. The wonders of making media. All right. So now we're not talking about the podcast. We're talking about like uploading the video. And there we go. And then we can boom, show that one. Okay. So uploading this video here to YouTube, we went in and we generated some headings, some titles here with ChatGPT. We'd also gone in and created this entire video script from this prompt. And here we are, it spit out the script, I recorded it, and now we've got our titles for the video. And now we actually want to do some chapters and everything else like that. But what I'm going to do here, instead of using the original script that was spit out, I'm going to come over here and do the transcripts. So in Adobe Premiere, and I use Adobe Premiere because it's what I know, and it also allows me to do both video and audio effectively. I will come over here now, and I'm going to go to my 2026 Vanderpool. You can see this one's fairly clean, and I will create a folder called transcripts. And boom, shalak, lock, boom. I can save this now. New year, new text. And there we go. There we go. Now I will come into ChatGPT. I will then navigate over here to where this transcript lives and give me a 5,000 character YouTube description with chapters. With minimal chapters. If you don't say minimal chapters or have it reduce the number of chapters, sometimes YouTube will just spit out a freaking ton of chapters. So here we go. This comes out, and then we'll get into the system, I swear. But you'll see here like why some of this requires such a system, right? Oh my goodness, let's go. Let's go. Is that going to be, this may be too much. Let's see how many characters this actually does. It's so funny, like simple things you would think it would be able to do. It doesn't do. That's only 3,000, but that's okay. And let's go ahead and give me hashtags. High performing hashtag. Let's go combine them all. Copy paste. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So this video right here, is, let's see, I would say I probably put about an hour into this thing. All right. We're not going to put this into a playlist yet. No, it's not made for kids. We'll go next here. We'll add this. We'll do that at the bottom. We'll save this. You know, they've got all these things. Oh, you should do these 20 things after you freaking launch a video, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, who has time for that right now, right? This is 6 minutes long, folks. So we'll see what happens, right? I don't know. Here's what I am going to do, though. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go ahead and share this video with my friends. Oh, hey, there's Jim. We'll see what Jim's got going on. First time caller. Ooh, we'll see. Jim is a really good friend of mine, but he doesn't answer the phone. He calls me back 3 minutes ago and he can't answer his phone now. He's probably found. Here's what Jim does. For those of you that don't know Jim, Jim goes around, he's driving and he calls everybody. He's got like a list. I don't know where I'm at on the list, but when I don't answer, I know I fall farther down on the list. So let's go ahead here and grab this. Boom, shalak, lock, boom. Go back over to our Anthony Wayne, nope, not our Anthony Wayne, our Vanderpool channel here. Vanderpool X is what they call us here. Keep it ridiculously simple. We'll play this on both of our phone and also on our computer here. Why not? And then I'm going to share this thing out with all of the people. People who hopefully will watch this, and then we'll go from there. Ba, 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 ba. And where's Shaner? Shaner. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So that is how we take a, oh my God, how many times are you seeing me here? This is a little ridiculous, right? That is how we take, you know, once we have a video completed. Now, let's go ahead and how I started podcasting. Okay. So My very first podcast was, and let's see here. Let's go ahead and if we go back over to Spotify, let's go over to the there we go. My very first podcast that I really have put any effort into is the Because You Watched Star Crash podcast. So one night I started watching a movie called Star Crash. Then this happened. I was a faculty at a community college. There were some other faculty who I hung out with, like to talk nerd stuff with. And I was like, holy smokes, y'all have to watch this. And then we started this Because You Watched Star Crash podcast. And now we have 4 people like this thing. That's pretty cool. And then we have a whole bunch of episodes here. So 1, 2, oh my goodness. Vampire's Kiss, Remastered The Lost Empire. I don't even think this is going to be all of them here because there's a little bit of a mishmash and everything. And I have, again, here's the thing, right? I throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And that was all of like this podcast here we started so long ago. I can probably go look, 2022 was when we did some of these, load more episodes. Let's see when the actual first one of this was started. This podcast has been kind of on again, off again. We did Ernest Saves Christmas. We did the Apple. We did Ice Pirates. We did Cyborg. We did the Gate of Seavers. We did She. We did Zardoz. That was our apocalyptic season. We did some special episodes with Zack Snyder's Justice League, Natural Born Killers, Dune, Dragnet, holy smokes, Black Scorpion, Holiday Special, RoboCop, Blank Man. We had our superhero season, Supergirl, which will be re-released here once I clean that thing up, Deathstalker, Galaxy Lords, Devil Girl from Mars. Wow, dude, Because You Watched Star Crash 2020. June 2020 is when I put this thing up on Spotify. Now, we'd actually done this prior to being on Spotify. When we were at the college, I think we did it on SoundCloud or something like that. And then when we left the college, decided, we swear too much, this can't be associated with the college. We're going to go over and try Spotify. So I have been in the podcast game about 5 years consistently, right? Or relatively consistently. If you notice, probably from where we went in these last few episodes, this was in December. It'd been a year, folks. It'd been a year that I didn't do anything with the podcast simply because other things in life were more demanding. But we're getting back on the grind with Because You Watch Star Crash, but more importantly, we're getting continuing the grind with the Make It Happen podcast. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what the goal here is for today. And maybe we should do this with a document. How do we even start to do this, right? Well, let's do what we would potentially do, right? Let's go ahead to our friend in AI. And this is kind of the way this works for some of us here in the world today. I want to create a system for my podcast. Ask me questions as a project, as a producer for the podcast. Let's go slow. I have been recording for a year, and we need to create a stable system, create a repeatable system to grow. So with any endeavor, right? Let's go ahead over here. Let's go ahead in our comment. Begin with the end in mind. And let's go ahead there. Boom, boom, boom. What do I actually want, right? Oh, here we go. Step 1, clarify the North Star. So before we design our workflows, our calendars, any of our growth tactics, what does success look like for this podcast? So 1 year from now, what does this podcast is working look like for you? That's a great question. This is a question I ask my clients. It's funny, I've never really asked this to myself. Like, what does success look like for me? success looks like, let's go ahead and we'll just do this here. For me, success looks like our podcast has, oh no, I don't want to do it this. No, what do you do? Oh my gosh, end this stupid thing. This voice thing is so terrible. This is what I want. Dictate. So for me, I think the podcasts, if we look at this, right, who's listening? I think what I want, the people I want to be listening are economic development folks, people in industry, people, venture capital, people who are looking to invest in the Northwest Ohio community, people who are stakeholders in the Northwest Ohio economy. Business outcomes, I'd like to have 3 sponsors who are helping to fund the production. Personal outcomes, I would like to have the network, my network grow, continue to grow. I would like to have a speaking engagement as part of this in 2026, talking about making it happen. And obviously, I'm going to use this to be part of my consulting, Vanderpool Consulting, and Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design, what it does. I'm also going to use it to help promote my Super Cool Kit. The Super Cool Kit, this is the first sponsor that we're going to use in order to funnel some interested parties into the Kickstarter for the Super Cool Kit. We're going to have long form podcast videos that are distributed on YouTube. Let's hit 1,000 followers on YouTube. That's 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's going to go on Facebook. Let's hit 1,000 followers on Facebook, and it's going to go on Spotify. So let's hit 1,000 listeners on Spotify. Might be a little too much here, but we'll see what happens, right? I like this. I like this. Using voice and leveraging voice is so freaking important here, man. Holy smokes. Oh, is that Jim again? Might be Jim again here. So, economic development leaders. Hey, what's up, Jim?
Hey, Mikey V, it's James and I. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Trying to get motivated with our gym habits for January 2026.
Did you listen to the video?
We're in the process of listening to it, and then you called.
What do you think? Is it decent?
So far, so good, bro. So far, James can learn a lot from this.
Yeah, so, it's all about building habits, dude. It's all about building habits.
We're going to listen to the rest of it, and then we'll call you back, sir.
Peace. It's good to have friends that support you. So, economic development leaders, industry stakeholders, investors, and VC, specifically because, like, I'm talking to people who are trying to do cool, not trying to, well, who are doing cool things and are trying to make them cooler. And a lot of times when you're trying to scale anything, whether it's Paul and his concert, whether it's Vince and his MC gig, whether it's Alicia Wagner and what she's got going on, right? We're all trying to find people to support us. So here we go. People deciding where to place money, time, and trust in Northwest Ohio. I like that. I like this perspective here. So even when I talk to people outside of the region, right, I want to understand what they need to be successful, and then figure out, do we have it here in Northwest Ohio? And if we don't, how do we build it, right? So that's a little bit of my motivation. Business outcomes, 3 paying sponsors. That's great, which probably means we have to come up with a budget at some point. Direct sponsor for Vanderpool Consulting. Personal brand outcomes, continue networking, right? Vanderpool hopefully means something at some point in time. 2026 speaking engagement centered on make it happen will be pretty dope. Positioning me as a connector and a catalyst. I love that. Okay, cool. Distribution goals, long form video first podcast, platform, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify. Not just a hobby. This is a strategic platform podcast. It's a strong foundation. All right, sweet. Oh, so what? Step 2, define the primary job of the podcast. Every repeatable system starts by answering this. What is the one primary job the podcast must do exceptionally well? Man, oh man, oh man. Make Northwest Ohio look investable. Turn conversations into long-term relationships. Position Mike as the guy who makes things happen. I think that's it. Surface align people and projects worth. No, I think it's me. Like, I'm the brand here, right? I'm the person who helps make it happen. If you want to make something happen, I think that's it, right? Like, if you want to make something happen in Northwest Ohio, you're going to come to Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design. Not that we're going to do the work for you, but we can connect always. Sometimes we might, if it's in our wheelhouse, and if we've got the time, if we're not the best person for the job, we're going to send it over to the best person for the job, right? Maybe you've got some big marketing thing that you need to do, and Hanson Marketing is who you're going to talk to. Maybe you're just trying to get your own podcast rocking and rolling, and I'm going to connect you with Chris Eischen. Maybe you're looking to bring your startup to Northwest Ohio, and I'm going to connect you with RGP and some other folks. I mean, Jumpstart and those folks. Maybe that's where we're at. I do need to buy new glasses because these lenses are done. But I think positioning me as the guy who makes things happen, me as the person that you want at the table or part of the conversation, obviously that works well for me financially, I hope, as doing some consulting work. So yeah, I think that's it, right? So let's go ahead and that voice was good. The primary job of this podcast is to position Mike as the guy who makes things happen by being well connected and knowing how things work and being able to be the connective tissue between cool people doing cool things. This is pretty good. This is ChatGPT 5.2. I know that there's other things out there, but this initial prompt is feels really good here. Position Mike as the guy who makes things happen by being well connected, understanding how things work, and acting as the connective tissue between people doing cool, meaningful things in Northwest Ohio and adjacent ecosystems. This tells me you are not the expert talking at people. I'm the orchestrator, translator of the bridge. The podcast is a relationship engine, not just a content engine. I like that, right? I like that. Cool people doing cool things, connecting those relationships. I love this. Very well aligned with sweet. Highly systemizable. Oh, the audience contract. Every successful podcast has an unspoken contract with its listeners, okay? When someone in economic development or industry listens to your podcast, what should they reliably walk away with every single episode? Not inspiration. Insight, perspective, pattern recognition, access, confidence, language. Yeah, language is important. You can answer like, I want them to feel more plugged into what's actually happening. So if someone listens to one episode, they should walk away feeling that they have a better understanding of the person or the people who is doing the cool thing. They should better understand the cool thing, what it means, not just like in the moment, but what it might mean for us as a city or a region. And then they should build trust within me and what I'm talking about, and trust that I'm someone who's going to explore questions and opportunities meaningfully. And also the person is going to ask hard questions when they need to be asked and clarifying questions when they need to be asked. And then also just have that better understanding of who we are talking to and what we're talking about. It's probably long-winded, but hopefully the ChatGPT will make it less long-winded for me. Okay. This wasn't long-winded at all. It was exactly what a producer needs. Tighten this into a clean audience contract without changing your meaning. Move us one small intentional step forward. So locked audience contract. If someone listens to one episode, they should walk away with a clear understanding of who the person is, a clear understanding of what the cool thing actually is, context for why it matters behind the moment to the city, the region, or the ecosystem, and increased trust in my judgment, curiosity, and integrity, confidence that the conversation wasn't fluff, the right questions were asked, and the important connections were surfaced. In short, I understand the person, I understand the thing, I understand why it matters, and I trust Mike to guide me through that. Okay, what this unlocks: your podcast succeeds on clarity and trust, not hype. Every episode must answer, who is this person really? What are they actually building or doing? Why should Northwest Ohio care? And what questions needed to be asked and where? This becomes our repeatable process spine later. Okay. Define the guest filter. Ooh, this is good. So one of the first things when I pitched this idea for doing this podcast, good friend, Keith Instone, everybody knows Keith. What's it going to be about? And I didn't want it to be about tech, right? Because tech's a stupid word. I didn't want it to be about design because it's a stupid word. It's like too narrow and too broad both at the same time. So it was cool people doing cool things. And then we could add on to that in Northwest Ohio if we really wanted to, but cool people doing cool things. Because my understanding of everything that we're trying to do in Northwest Ohio, Southeast Michigan, wherever else, everywhere that wants to actually have economic growth, right? If we're known as a place where cool people do cool things, everything else is easier. So we're going to question number 4, who should not be on this podcast? This isn't a negative. It's how we protect the trust, signal quality, sponsor, interest in your time. So, this is a great question because I want to say everybody should be on the podcast, right? Who should not be on this podcast? Man, this podcast is, see, and it's not because this is so hard. Because, it might be, people who are never going to change their mind. And okay, that's fine. So this podcast is for people who have a very rigid view of the region and don't want it to change. But I'm also going to argue if I do this right, it does have the possibility, the potential to make that person change. But if that person has the potential to make that person change, then that person shouldn't be defined as a person who would never change. Gosh, I don't even know, man. We've had startup people on here. We've had government folks on here. We've had everyday folks. We've had college students. We've had college graduates. Who would I not want as a guest? I mean, I'd want everybody. Hey, what's up, Jim? Oh my goodness. Maybe Jim can help out with this.
Hey.
My trusted advisor, James.
Yeah, he watched it while I was pumping gas.
Oh yeah, what do you think?
I liked it.
You liked it. What'd you like about it?
That it like helped me not when I grew up and do something that I wouldn't have liked.
Might help you to do something that maybe you're not motivated to do.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? By starting with habits,
Yes.
because habits can change, or habits is what forms good results. Yeah.
I need your help, Jim and James.
What you got, man?
So I'm working on my Make It Happen podcast strategy and system for growth in 2026. And you're live right now, by the way, just in case you're wondering. So don't say anything. Okay. And I'm using ChatGPT to act as my producer, and it's guiding me through these questions, right? So we're at the point right now where we're going to define the guest filter, and it's asking me who should not be a guest on my podcast. And I'm having a real hard time actually thinking of anybody who should not be a guest, right? Because I can talk to everybody, and I feel like I can try to better understand people who I would even like my worst enemies. I'd love to have on the podcast because maybe we can bridge a gap,
I think the people that suck the life out of you are always negative. Now, part of this Make It Happen 2026 is changing your mind, changing your habits, and those people are probably some of the ones that need it the most. But you also don't want to surround yourself with people that everything bad is always happening to them. And not in the sense of it really is, but that they think it is. Or they're always bringing you down. You want a glass half full, not half empty type of
Okay.
person.
So I should not. So the people who
possibly, I don't know.
People who call me idiots about my Lions content, I would not want on there.
Well, are they just saying you're an idiot because they don't agree with your views, but they do have a positive outlook on what is going on?
Yeah.
Or is it that this person's an idiot, that person's an idiot, the economy's an idiot. Like the person around our country's an idiot. Like everyone's an idiot.
Yeah.
Except for supposedly that person.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of having an opinion, but then realizing where does this direction need to go? Where's the positive in this person?
Yeah. Don't paint me just the problem. Bring some ideas for solutions.
Correct.
Or help me
Some
better
people-
understand the problem versus just everybody sucks.
Yep.
Okay.
Because there's some people that they get a joy out of bringing everyone down.
Yeah, I don't like those people.
I know.
So yeah,
That's why we keep our circle tight.
yeah, for real, dude. So I'm excited because the Make It Happen podcast is about to be international this 2026. So I'm designing the system for that. And then I'm also doing the Vanderpool podcast, or the Vanderpool YouTube channel, which you just watched the video on. I think the Heart of a Lions fan podcast may die, Jim. It's not good energy. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's what you're realizing, that it's a way for you to express yourself, but you also look for avenues to grow. But lately, it's just turned into a rant for you, and it's like you said, the energy is not what you want.
Yeah. So hopefully Dan Campbell starts his starters, and then I can just quit the podcast, because that's the promise I made to the fans today.
Well, you know the starters are going to start, right? And so I think subconsciously you did that so that way you can exit with saying, hey, I stand my ground on what I said.
I can blame Dan Campbell.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't Heart of a Lions fan's fault. It was Dan Campbell's fault.
Yeah.
Dan Foolish.
He's a Dan fool, Jim.
Dan Fool.
All right. Well, I got to get back to making my master plan here, but always good talking to you.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a lot of success in 2026. I know Make It Happen with Mike Vanderpool will be something I'll look forward to on a weekly basis to listen to. So
Cool
thank you
people
for
doing cool
continuing
things.
The content and live well and prosper, or something like that. What is the Star Trek thing?
Live long and prosper, Jim. Awesome.
Live long, not well. Yeah, I say live well, I guess.
All right, dude. Peace.
Later.
Later, James.
Bye.
Later, man. It's always good to have good friends. It is always good to have good friends. Okay. Honestly, I will talk to anybody. But I won't talk to people a cup all the way full. I won't talk to people who are like 100% negative. I mean, even if there's like a fraction of a fraction that's not negative about what they say and how they present, I'll talk to them. But a negative full glass is not who I'm going to talk to. Everybody else I can learn from, I'll talk to them. Maybe this will help. I don't know. I really like how this is like stepping through. That is the one thing you'll notice with AI. It would like flood. Sometimes you have to be intentional about asking it to step through. People whose perspective is completely closed, who are 100% negative, who bring no curiosity, openness, or content. Okay. Awesome. A full cup is required. It doesn't have to be full of optimism. It just can't be full of despair. All right. Define the conversation style. We know why it exists, who's it's for, what listeners should feel, who shouldn't be on it. Now like how it feels. So my style, I think, is informal-ish. I try to approach the conversation. I do approach the conversation as someone who's trying to learn. I also approach the conversation knowing that there's sometimes a phrase that a guest will say, or acronym, or some jargon that they'll use that I'll have to make sure gets clarified. So I don't mind interrupting and getting clarification. I like to go, I think, deeper than like a traditional. I like to understand who the person is. I like to understand what project they're working on. I like to understand how we can help, or what kind of help they would need in order to become more successful. Also interweave self-deprecating humor. I'm not sure if I should really do that, but that's just kind of one of the things I'm comfortable with. All right. All right. Keep on trucking here. Very clear, defensible. I mean, ChatGPT loves me. I must be a genius, right? ChatGPT. Informal-ish, conversational, human, curious, not performative, serious about impact, not self-serious, learner and connector, not a lecturer, willing to interrupt for clarity, not ego, comfortable saying, hold on, explain that. Yep. Why this works. This style makes economic development and innovation approachable, signals credibility without arrogance, positions you as safe to talk to, sharp enough to ask hard questions, and trustworthy enough to interpret what matters. For sponsors and innovators, this is gold. They want signal, not hype. They want someone who can translate complexity. They want access without fluff. I'm building that. Okay. What we've built so far, purpose, audience, sweet. Can we, can you create a one-pager of what we have so far? And it shouldn't have said can. I know it can. All right. And now we're going to come over into here. We'll go into Google Drive. And let's go ahead in 2026. Here we'll create a new folder for the Make It Happen podcast. And we'll actually do this. We'll do the name, family type first, podcast, Make It Happen. And then what we'll do here is we'll come in here and we will say a new document. And this document is going to be the 2026. It's the master plan 2026 for the Make It Happen podcast. All right. Maybe it's a strategy guide. Maybe it's something else. I don't even know. But now we can come over here to our good friend ChatGPT. And we'll just copy paste this in. Now we'll have something that we can reference back to. And I'll fix the formatting on this later. Awesome. And we've added another tab. Let's go ahead and rename this tab. And back over here to our friend. All right. So when you're done, the next logical step is to turn to repeatable episode structure. Same spine, different guests, which is a system. Just say the word. Okay. So what? Okay. So this is really cool. We've clarified where we're at right now. And I see where you want to go into the repeatable episode structure. And I understand that and I appreciate that. I'm almost wondering if it would be better to go out to talk about how we're going to build the distribution network of this and the system for that distribution network. What are your thoughts? Right? Because there's two options here. We've laid the foundation of what this thing is. Now we can either go in or we can go out. And I guess even going out is still going in because we're talking about the process of distribution versus the process of production. Episode structure optimizes quality and efficiency. Distribution systems optimize growth and leverage. Since you already have a year of recordings, have a clear identity, and not struggling to hit record, your bottleneck is not content creation. Your bottleneck is how does one episode reliably turn into momentum. That's a distribution problem, not a format problem. So yes, it makes sense to go there now. Okay, this is cool. Distribution. One constraint, we do not design distribution as one post everywhere, chase algorithms, hope clips work, a system that reinforces your positioning and connectivity, keeps our trust, the right way to enter distribution. Instead of jumping right into platforms, we start with one producer question that governs all. When someone discovers you for the first time through a clip, post, or share, what do you want them to immediately understand you about the show? So let's go. If someone sees a single piece of content from the Make It Happen podcast, they should immediately understand that this is a show about cool people doing cool things. About connecting with cool people doing cool things. So it's not just about cool people doing cool things. It's about how you can connect to them. All right. Distribution system. Every piece of distributed content must clearly signal connection, not performance. I should know this person. If a clip or post doesn't make someone think, I should know this person and I trust Mike to introduce them well, it doesn't get posted. So this is me introducing somebody. Hey, we're at a networking event. Hey, this is my friend Tom. Tom is a vice president over at XYZ company. Their latest initiative is blah, 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 blah. Tom, I'd love to introduce you to all of my friends here. Tom, could you tell us a little bit more about blah, blah, blah? Okay, so there's our distribution, right? Clip focus. Choose the distribution center of gravity. Okay. Where the system lives. If you could only invest real energy in one platform for the next 90 days, which one would it be and why? If I could invest in one platform for the next 90 days, I think it would definitely have to be YouTube, simply because I understand YouTube's monetization platform the best. I understand its system the best. I also think what I'm doing and the video angle and the visibility angle and the networking and branding portion of this for me and Vanderpool Consulting will rely heavily on video. YouTube is also the easiest to distribute in places like LinkedIn and others. We're about an hour into this. I don't know if I'll take a break or not, folks. Depends if I have to use the restroom, but we're probably just going to keep going and see what happens here. I will have to have a hard stop at 2 o'clock. Already understand the monetization, long form. Okay. From here out, we treat YouTube as the source. Everything else is deliverables. This prevents chaos. YouTube first distribution method, long form, multiple shorts, contextual framing. Who is this person? What are they doing? Okay, sweet, sweet, sweet. When someone lands on a YouTube channel homepage for the first time, what should they immediately understand in 10 seconds? This channel exists to connect you with people. This channel exists to connect you with cool people doing cool things, helps you get to know them and find ways that you can get involved or find people that may be able to help you in the cool thing that you're trying to do. Wow, this is phenomenal, ChatGPT. Thank you for this. Could you imagine like trying to go through this without a partner like this? Holy smokes. Connecting you with cool people doing cool things and showing you how to get involved. Let's go. Okay. Okay, at this point, we have enough clarity to build systems without rework. Next, we can do one of the following. Design the repeatable YouTube episode types. Create the per episode distribution checklist. Design a sponsor-friendly visible model. Well, can you expand on more what you mean about number 3? Design a sponsor-friendly visibility model. Oh, wait, never mind. That's just freaking putting... Yeah, okay. I get what number 3 is. Let's actually do number 2. Number 2 and the distribution per episode distribution checklist is going to be the most important. Because it really is, folks. If we think about at least the way that I'm doing things right now on my own, I'm pinballing a lot between what I do for school, what I do for Anthony Wayne Innovation Design, what I do for my family, everything else, right? I'm pinballing a lot. So to have a system that helps me keep track of this, right? So per episode distribution checklist. I don't like this here, but maybe we need this. Actually, back up a step and give me a one pager of, let's see here. Okay. Okay. This feels a little gross. Not super happy with that. But again, this is all just first draft, right? Per episode distribution, one pager. That's fine. That's fine. Let's, I want to focus right now on a little bit more actionable, right? Give me the checklist of distribution. This is I can use to look at my existing content and make sure I've had maximum distribution. Creating content is costly. Maximizing distribution is super important. So there should be a long form video on YouTube. There should be a long form video on Facebook, a long form video on Spotify. There should be shorts on YouTube, shorts on Facebook. We should also have a poll on Spotify. And then we need to have a text version for the Make It Happen podcast newsletter on LinkedIn. We should have a post on LinkedIn on the Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design page. That post should also be shared with Mike Vanderpool's page. We should also have some images and stills from the post that are used to tease upcoming episodes. So this will eventually get this to a list, but that's really like the thing. Like, so having this system, right, we're going to ask this to create a checklist for us. So long form distribution, full episode upload, title, description, sweet. Long form video on Facebook, Spotify, Facebook, short forms, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify engagement layer, Spotify poll, written content, LinkedIn newsletter, brand and personal awareness amplification. That's the posting, sweet. Visual, teasers, pre and post, guest amplification, send guest a shared link. Our internal check to do its job. So let's see here. Okay, let's go. This is distribution. And then let's do this. Let's go ahead. Can you add in a list of the metrics we should check per this distribution with viewers and time and anything else that we can really keep track of when it comes to being able to quantify the effectiveness of the podcast? I'm hoping that layer lives on my local client and isn't consuming a whole bunch of cloud resources. So now we'll come in here and now we have the too long of a file name, the per episode distribution checklist. Awesome. Distribution metrics, effectiveness, track after 7 and 30 days, views, what good looks like. All right. Sweet. We're just going to copy paste this because this is something that we'll all, again, have as a first draft here. And then I'll actually share all of this document out with all of everybody too. If you message me somehow, some way, I'll go ahead and get this thing over to you. Now I'm going to do something here a little tricky dicky. Not yet. When we get to a spot we think we're done, then we'll do something tricky dicky. All right, that's cool. Let's go ahead here and, okay, what should we do next? What are my options for what's next? Build a podcast distribution network dashboard. This could be actually kind of cool, right? Like if the Make It Happen podcast webpage was a dashboard of the episode, that could be and things like for us to be able to see, like share the behind the scenes on what's going on and what's hot could be kind of cool. I don't want to do a dashboard yet. Okay, I don't want to do a dashboard yet. I like that idea, so we'll table that. Let's create a list of things, future things to do, and that visual dashboard being one of them. Give me a short recap of where we're at right now and then the possible options to go forward with. I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to wrap this up in about 20 minutes. So we've got the Make It Happen podcast exist to position you as the connective tissue, a guy who makes things happen by connecting cool people doing cool things and explaining why their work matters to the region. We've got a locked audience, established a contract with the audience, define the conversation style, we've chosen a distribution strategy, we built a maximum distribution checklist, defining what success looks like, future things to do, parked and not ignored. So episode type framework, I'm not going to do that. Title and system thumbnail, okay. Editor and assistant SOP, okay. Quarterly content review, back catalog optimization. Let's design the system for how we engage with guests. Currently, I'm reaching out to people or people are reaching out to me to be on the podcast. That should be a system that we have and is trackable as part of the process, right? So I'm envisioning a Trello board with a card for each person. There'll be a conversation starter bucket. There'll be a pre-production starter. There'll be a bucket for production. So each of those having their own checklist with inside the card, like made contact, booked, and then all of the other things. So give me the conversation workflow for meeting, booking a guest, and what it looks like after the fact as well. And then we'll talk about the Trello cards for each part of the process, pre-production, production, post-production, and then distribution. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, I can dig this. Guest engagement and relationship workflow. This is something I can help pass off to other people. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then let's do this. We'll copy paste this over and we'll say, enhance the Trello card section. Give me like an explainer for each section, each part of the card, each checklist on the card specific to those phases of pre-production up through booking, production, post-production, and distribution. So I've been expecting to see like 4 to 5 checklists here with a little bit of explainers. And for those of you that don't know what Trello is, I can show you what Trello is here real quick. Trello, boom, shlock, lock, boom. Get it done. This is some of the projects I'm working on. This is a Kanban style board where you're able to move things over and across as you need to for tracking projects. So guest and relationship, this is cool. Rename that. So we can book guests here. There's our master plan. Here's our, oops, why did that get put in under a, so here is our master plan for 2026. Here's our guest engagement and relationship workflow, how we book guests during, after, everything else. Here is our little bit of our distribution one pager with YouTube. This is our distribution beyond YouTube. Here's some of the distribution metrics that we care about. And then let's go here and go back over to this. This should be our Trello card design and guest life cycle. Here is the guest name, card description, checklist number 1. How did we connect? Add this as a comment, initial contact. There we go. There we go. Like back and forth. Decision made. Pursue. Checklist. Pre-production. Podcast invite sent. Awesome. Guest confirmed. Recording scheduled. Basic. Okay. Conversation intent defined. Should we send in? Awesome. 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 I don't like to do too much. Okay. Sweet. 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 Let's go. Optional card elements, optional due dates. This is kind of nice. I like this. Oh. Okay. I mean, what else is there to do? I mean, what do you think? Give me some thoughts on. Be real with me, right? Be not just a friendly producer, but give me a real view where I'm at right now with everything that we've put together, and where we might go next. Boop, 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 boop. 115. Hour and a half with me, it's probably enough for anybody, right? You're in a rare but dangerous middle state. Clear on purpose, consistent, intentional, system aware. You're not fully systematized yet, optimized for growth, and monetizing yet. Okay. Most people never get to this point. Some people get stuck here forever. What you've built so far is strategically sound. This is not a random content podcast. The risk you're facing, biggest risk is invisible inconsistency. Not missing episodes, but great conversations that aren't working hard enough for you. You already named it. Creating content is costly. Maximizing distribution is super important. If you stop recording tomorrow and only optimize distribution for 90 to 60 days, you're likely to see more momentum, not less. That's the truth. If you stopped recording tomorrow and only optimize distribution for 60 to 90 days, you would likely see more momentum, not less. That's the truth. Wow. Okay. What I don't have yet are proof loops, momentum flywheels, where one episode reliably feeds the next, monetization pressure, and delegation ready ops. Yeah, I don't have that yet. The real question now is not what else is there to do. The question is, do you want this podcast to remain a powerful personal platform or become a scalable asset? Oh, I don't even know, man. If you want to stay a powerful personal platform, you could stop planning here. Your next 6 months will be recording, using the checklist, strengthening relationships, let opportunities surface naturally. This path leads to speaking, consultation, and reputation, low stress, high alignment. If you want it to become a scalable asset, the next phase is not more strategy. It's execution in 3 specific areas. Back catalog optimization. I already have a sub-contest in the content. Redistribute older episodes, reframe clips, reintroduce people. This alone could double visibility. Signal identification, not what performs best, but what kinds of people, what kinds of conversations. Light monetization, readiness, not ads, not pitches, just documenting impact, noting interest, capturing, hey, we should talk. My real producer recommendation, pause new recordings slightly. Spend 30 to 60 days executing the system you designed. Audit and redistribute your last 10 to 15 episodes. Pay attention to who leans in and why. That's how you turn clarity into momentum. I appreciate the recommendation. My concern here is I've made it to a list somewhere, and I have people reaching out to me to be on the podcast who are going to take the reach beyond just Northwest Ohio. And I think this is an opportunity that I would need to jump on before I were to, or maybe parallel to maximizing some of the older episodes. And maybe that's what it is, right? I will be able to leverage some additional help with this. I do want to put out a video asking for sponsorship. So maybe I can get some money up front here to help with the creation and post-production of some of these episodes. But I got to find a way to balance both. I have to find a way to balance moving forward while also refining the back catalog, like you say. So what does that look like for the next 90 days? I like how it presents me an if-then scenario, and I'm like, let's do both. My ADHD. Let's see. Your credible inflection point, not an imaginary one. People reaching out from outside Northwest Ohio is not noise, it's a signal. I'm discoverable, I'm trusted. Now being perceived as a node, ignoring the momentum to optimize old episodes would be a mistake. At the same time, if you chase only new episodes, you will stay production heavy. Distribution debt will pile up. You'll feel busy but capped. So the answer is not either or. The answer is parallel lanes with clear constraints. The correct framing for the next 90 days. For the next 90 days, the podcast needs to operate 2 synchronous tracks. New episodes, new reach, back catalog systems and proof. No new episode get published unless it feeds both tracks. Basically, don't throw more crap on the pile. The next 90 days, 1 episode per week max, preferably batch record when possible, keeps momentum, guest selection rule. You do say yes to guests with reach beyond Northwest Ohio, guests who connect regions, capital ecosystems, guests who strengthen your connector positioning. Do not say yes to nice but low signal conversations, anything that adds work without reach or relationship upside. It's not keeping it survival. New episodes must do double duty, serve as current momentum, become a flagship example for sponsors, clean production, clear positioning, strong clips, thoughtful framing. You're not just publishing, you're building a portfolio. Back catalog leverage, we'll do this lightly. We're going to go pick 1 old episode per week, treat it like it's new. That's it. Not 10, not the whole archive. What resurfacing means, pull 1 to 2 clips, write a fresh LinkedIn post, reframe it with today's context. Conversation aged well because I like this. Sponsorship, create a clear sponsor ask video. Okay, sweet. So let's go ahead and take this part right here. This is correct framing for the next 90 days. We're going to call this, let's go add a sub tab. And this is, oops, no, going here. Oh, shoot. What did I do? I didn't name this one. That's why I rename. Okay, this one here, let's pull that out. This will come in here. And then we'll call this one 2026 Q1. We at least know what that's about. And then let's go ahead and take this right here, sponsorship video. We should not do in the next 90 days. Actually, this is part of the 90-day thing, right? It is, I mean, it is nice to be encouraged consistently. All right, there we go. And all this stuff we can look back through. And then let's do this. Let's go ahead and create a script for the sponsorship video. I'm looking for help to cover some of the post-production costs. I've been bringing you, Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design and me, Mike Vanderbilt, have been bringing you some pretty good content, some pretty great content over 2025. We're looking to expand our reach in 2026, looking for sponsors to help with some of the post-production costs. I'm actually looking to bring on some young folks that I can teach, train how to do podcast and video editing. So this will cover the cost of me paying them as part of the process because they're doing work for me. I'm trying to make money from this. I feel like I should be paying them. So if you want your brand to be associated with cool people doing cool things, come check me out. Hit me up. Sponsor link right below. That should actually take them to a place where they can sponsor right then and there, right? Everybody. Yeah. All right. Sweet. There's the short. I could probably even record this today, right? I should probably shave to record that one though, right? Maybe. Let's go here. Rename this and go back to our friend. I feel like we've done a ton of work today. I might be overwhelmed a little bit. It's been 90 minutes. Let's go ahead and based on everything we've done so far, give me a checklist of what we should do next based on maybe some if-then scenarios when necessary. So if this happens, we're going to do this. If this happens, we're going to do that. Just a little bit of predictive, but then also a category of must-dos, must consider as we move forward and trying to take this podcast to the next level. And I think that'll do it, folks. An hour and a half with me, Mike V. Holy smokes. Now this that I've just created, I'll probably cut this up a little bit. Maybe, I'm not even sure. I don't know if anybody's going to watch this or care. And then I can go ahead and turn this into maybe a little bit of a playbook with some of the prompts and cleaned up that you could maybe copy paste and put into your workflow. But what I hope I showed more than like how to do plan a podcast here system. Because really, we don't have any of the visuals yet. We'll actually play with that here in a second. Just kind of getting the words out of and the ideas onto paper, right? This is the reality, right? Ideas are cheap and meaningless, right? They're float around. They're just energy. They don't turn into anything until they slow down and matter when they become matter, when they turn into like something that you've written down on paper, had a conversation with, that now is on a document somewhere. So what next? Decision checklist. Keep publishing episodes. I don't know if we'll do one a week. If more guests reach out than you can handle, say yes. If you feel pressure to record more, if a sponsor shows interest, if no sponsors bite immediately, if you get help, sweet, sweet, sweet. I love this. I love this. I love this. Q1 is now on paper designed for what we're going to do here. Now, I'm going to show you the secret sauce, folks. This is how we take everything that we just did here and make super, super magic with it. All right. I'll rename that. What next? There we go. There we go. Let's go all the way back up to the title of the document, Make It Happen 2026 podcast. And now I'm going to go over to Notebook LM. For those of you that aren't using Notebook LM, you are missing out on everything. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to connect this Google document, right? Master plan here. I'm going to insert this. Notebook LM is basically ChatGPT-ish, powered by Google's AI large language model, Gemini. And it allows you to pull in some of your own resources like I just did here with the master plan. It actually pulled in all of the pages. I'm going to go ahead and do a couple things here. I'm going to create an audio overview. I'll create a video overview. I'm going to create a slideshow and an infographic. I just hit 4 buttons and it's going to basically, based on my document that I just created, it's going to go ahead and create some of these things for us. So I'm going to go grab a glass of water and I will be right back and we'll take a look at what these things look like. Grabbing a drink and I'll be right back. So cool, so cool. Oh, what a beautiful day. Need to get some work done after this. So let's go ahead here. Leveraging Notebook LM. All right. There we go. Share our referral link. Nice. So Notebook LM here. What's really cool is we can go ahead and we'll call this 2020. What is this? Master plan 2026. Make it happen. We should do this. Make it happen podcast. Master plan 2026. Well, let's go. Let's go. Let's see. Here is our infographic. The podcast system from conversation to connection. The guest relationship engine, phase 1, discovery, phase 2 and 3, intentional production, phase 4 and 5, long-term connection, record once, distribute with purpose. YouTube is the source of truth. Core content asset. There we go. There we go. Audio episode, written summary, LinkedIn. I kind of like this. So let's go ahead and copy this image. I think that's good content, right? Good enough. So that's pretty cool, right? We've got that. I'll go over to my LinkedIn profile. Folks, if you're not following me, Mike Vanderpool, over on LinkedIn or the Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design page, I'm going to encourage you to do that. So start this post. Can I not do this? Copy image. Will it not let me paste in here? I might have to download it. Right. That's okay. Save image as Vanderpool 2026. Conversation to connection podcast model. And I think that's important, right? I'm not just having a podcast guest. I'm making a podcast friend, right? The make it happen podcast is about connecting cool people doing cool things. Connecting you with cool people doing cool things. Hashtag make it happen. There we go. That's pretty cool, right? So that's how we generated some content here from the document that we just created all the time. Like, we're immediately now, even though that's in a rough draft state here, this is how we can leverage, right, and immediately create content from the hour and a half that we spent, right? So here we go. I just spent, here we go. Let's do this. Create a LinkedIn post from me, Mike Vanderpool, talking about what we just did for the last 90 minutes and the impact that I'm hoping to make with this podcast. Thanks people for checking it out. And we'll also include a link to the show on YouTube, since that's our source of truth. Now, I'm doing all of this manual simply because I'm showing you, if I could automate all of this, I would. At least a lot of this, but we're not there yet. Over the last 90 minutes, I step back into something I don't always make time for. I intentionally dive into the system behind the Make It podcast, not just the content, not just the guests, but the why, how, and the impact. Over the past year, Anthony and I have been privileged of sitting down with cool people doing cool things, builders of those kind of people, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of words. I think LinkedIn likes words, though. All right. There we go. I don't know why it does the weird indenting. Students, if you're out there and you're using AI to do your homework, fix the indentation. All right. And then let's go over here to YouTube. And not this one. Switch my account to Anthony Wayne Innovation. Ooh, 87 subscribers. I think we picked up another one. There's another one. New subscriber 2 days ago. This is sweet. View my channel. And then the Make It Happen podcast. Here we go. Dalian was my last guest. Dalian was freaking awesome. 18 views on that bad mamma jamma. Let's get that up to 100. And folks, following Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design. Now, this is where it's weird, right? Because Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design, yeah, I don't know. That's a conversation we might actually have to have. Like, should it actually have its own page? But that's okay. We'll deal with that later. More to come. Let's keep making it happen. Nope, let's make it happen. We can use the hashtag make it happen. Exclamation point, because why not? All right, look back over this over the last 90 minutes. Sweet. There's the graphic. And now let's go back over to here to our friends Notebook LM, and we should have the podcast. Let's see what this. So what's cool is this audio here may not be public facing, but this is for me and maybe my team to listen to actually think about what we're doing here, right? So I'm excited to listen to that, right? And now here we go. We have our slideshows here. Let's take a look at these. The Make It Happen podcast, the operating system, a strategic blueprint for building trust, relationships, and momentum. Our mission to be the connective tissue for our region. The primary job of this podcast is to position Mike as the guy who makes things happen, someone well connected who understands how things work and who connects people doing cool, meaningful things in Northwest Ohio and adjacent ecosystems. This is a platform podcast, not a hobby podcast. It exists to build trust, relationships, and momentum. We serve economic development professionals, industry leaders, and investors who value signal over noise, real work over hype, and clarity over complexity. Okay? 3-part strategic engine, relationship engine, a trust building platform, and a regional signal amplifier. Audience contract, our promise in every episode. I understand the person, I understand the project, I understand why it matters, and I trust Mike. Cool, cool. The guest life cycle, a 5-phase relationship workflow, discovering intent, pre-production. Okay, this is cool. Probably not the best looking slides, but that's okay. Still a little bit text heavy, but you can go in and adjust some of that if you really wanted to. Trello system, conversation starter, pre-pro. I like this. This looks good. This episode, that looks really good. Content engine. All right, all right. Here we go. That looks really good. Distribution checklist, measuring what matters, impact, trust, and reach. 30-day effectiveness scorecard. Did this episode grow the audience? Did it deepen trust within our existing audience? Did it create a new connection or opportunity? The next 90 days, a 2-track operating plan for the next quarter. Yep. Fueling the engine and invitation to participate. We're seeking a small group of sponsors to support our 2026 expansion. It's not about selling ads, it's about funding a mission. All right, you're not selling. Okay, sweet. Content library. Protect your position, use the system, maximize leverage, act with relational intent. I don't need to do everything. I just need to keep the system moving. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then here's the video that this thing is going to put out. Oh. Here we go. Maybe. I think I'm going to have to share this. Okay. I mean, so that's how you can take 90 minutes of rambling with ChatGPT and a specific focus and come up with the foundations of a master plan that includes clarity on who you're talking to, how you're going to engage with guests, how we're going to distribute things, how we're going to measure things, how we're going to track our deliverables, how we're going to see what was this, how to look at the next 90 days, and have a sponsorship video here, and then some decision checklists and things that we need to do moving forward. Wow. And then we also threw this into Notebook LM, and here we are. We've got a video, we've got an audio podcast, we've got a slideshow, and we have a pretty decent graphic here that I just shared over on LinkedIn, simply because holy smokes, why not? All right, folks. Hour and 40 minutes with me, more than most people need. Just ask Mrs. Vanderpool, and I do appreciate each and every one of you in your time. Really just trying to keep making it happen. I appreciate all the love and support from everybody out there. So be good to each other. Take care, and we'll see you when we see you.